Hey everybody, it is Monday. Mondays are for Mondays in the meditation room with Dr. K for Midlife Musings. I know, right? It used to be Blue Mondays. Nobody liked Mondays because they had to go back to work after the weekend. Blue Monday. People really hate it with this rainy Monday, right? But let's celebrate Monday because it's Mondays in the meditation room with Dr. K. But that's the best thing that could ever happen to Mondays. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Monday, October the 18th, 2021. How was your day today? Got some, sad news, right? That Colin Powell passed away from complications of COVID. A lot of stuff going on around in the earth, not just, dealing with COVID and all of that, but just a lot, just even in our own lives, right? So, how y'all doing? Let's just take a few moments and come on in the room, take a deep breath in, release the day, right? We talked about that last time, right? Releasing the day. There's nothing else we can do to change it. We can't do no more, right? The day is coming to a close. So let's try not to worry about what we didn't get done, celebrate what we did get done, right? And release the day. So now this is your moment. This is your time to feed your own sister soul, right? To be in the company of your sisters in the meditation room and just take a few moments to be, right? So, welcome y'all to Mondays in the meditation room with Dr. K for Midlife Musings, right? Mondays in the meditation room is a part of Enlightened Woman Enterprises, right? That is all things empowerment and enlightenment for Black women in midlife. So invite a sister to come with you into the room. Don't cost a thing, right? To follow the Enlightened Woman page and, of course, join our private Facebook community on Enlightened Woman, right? And then also subscribe to the YouTube channel, Kelly V. Hayes. Kelly V. Hayes, KellievHayes on YouTube. So, hey, good evening, y'all. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome. Come on into the room. I promise I'm not going to keep you guys long on tonight, but we just want to continue our conversation that we started last week. But before we do, I want to remind you and invite you that if you have not, I know my theme song just went right off. I got to learn how to fade it out. I absolutely love that original song done by MB Music Group. Just phenomenal. Just kind of puts you in the mood for being in the meditation room. I had a very busy but fulfilling weekend. You'll hear more about that momentarily. Hadn't lit my candles in a long time. So, in the meditation room, lit my Harlem Candle Company, Black woman owned company. My favorite scent is Josephine. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's earthy, it's grounding, it's relaxing. Absolutely love it. So, I hadn't done that in a minute. So, I had to light my candle, right? Just kind of because your senses are so important, and your senses can literally affect your mood. And so, your sense of smell, find a good scent that allows you to relax. Whatever you want it to do, actually invigorate you. Some eucalyptus or citrus um, aromas can help awaken you or invigorate you. If you want to relax, go with something like lavender. For me, I like kind of musky sandalwood kind of smells that relaxes, because when you start a ritual, when you sense it or smell it, it automatically your body automatically begins to respond to what you're training it to do. So if it's not one of my candles, then I'm spraying lavender, right? Or eucalyptus or something, not necessarily eucalyptus, but lavender on my pillows. And because that's part of my nighttime ritual, my body then begins to react, saying, oh, it's time to slow down. It's time to wind down. It's time to relax. So you're not at the mercy of whatever's going on around you. You get to control your environment and the ambiance in your environment to create the effect that you want in that moment. That's good, right? I know, right? So before we move forward, I want to remind you again, let's get that the enlightened woman, right? Inspiration and reflections to rediscover the joy of being you in midlife and beyond. If you have not picked up your copy, make sure you do it as soon as can. You can go to Amazon and order it. It's 19.99 because you have a combination of a book, a journal, and a workbook, right? Yes, or you can purchase it directly from me. Soon I'll have my shop up on my website so that you can purchase it directly from me, or you can send it to my Cash App, which is $ Kelly Hayes, KELLIEHAYES, and I'll mail it to you because I have a special right now to October 30th, right? For 15 for one, 25 for two if you want to gift the sister. Because for all of those persons who buy the book between now and October 30th, you'll be a part of a 4-part masterclass on mastering the midlife pivot as we go through the book. And so I want you to be included and be a part of it. So don't forget, if you don't have your copy, get it right by October 30th at the special rate of 15. Then it'll go back to the regular price as we prepare for our private group of going through our 4-part masterclass of the book. Right, we're going to go through it. So I don't want you to miss out. I want you to be a part of it. Right. So let me know if you already have the book. Right. And so we can celebrate and get excited. So, hey, everybody, the weird thing about StreamYard, or that I am the platform that I'm using to push to our Facebook Enlightened Woman, the Enlightened Woman, or Enlightened Woman private Facebook community, or to YouTube. If you don't give StreamYard permission to identify yourself when you comment, I don't know who you are. So I don't want anybody to think that, I'm just ignoring you, because right now I can just see you as Facebook users. Some people I can see your names because you've either commented before they put that restriction in, or you've given permission for us to see your name. Otherwise, you Facebook user. So, hey, y'all Facebook users. I'm glad you're with me in the room. So if you're just coming on, welcome to Mondays in the Meditation Room with Dr. K for Midlife Music. So let's take a moment to check in. How you're doing? How you feeling? How's your mental state? How's your emotional state? How's your body? Have you taken the time to stop and breathe? Maybe do a quick body scan. Where are you holding any tension, any pain? You're noticing anything in your body? Did you have a stressful day today? Maybe you didn't get a chance to express yourself, or your mind's been going, thinking over and over again about things that require your attention or decision, or you're concerned about something. You need to know that you hold all of that in your body. And so it's always good at the end of the day to do a body scan, just get quiet and notice, just take yourself from head to toe and just notice, pay attention to those particular parts of your body. Notice how they're feeling. If you're feeling any tension, then go ahead and do some stretches, release your body. So you'll learn how to do the body scan and releasing and relaxing next time we do our serenity meditation and breathworks class. So make sure you pay attention and keep up. Follow me on IG and at Kelly B. Hayes on Instagram and on Facebook, right? So that you will get the notifications the next time we do our meditation and breathworks class. So excited about launching that because it really is a part of my health regimen. It's a part of my don't lose your mind regimen. It's a part of my not leaving here before God says it's time. It's a part of my um, self care, and it's not luxury. It's necessity. It's resistance, pushing back against the world that would have me give all that I have and all that I am without replenishing myself, without having those boundaries. So, make sure you take stock of yourself. Right. Hey, Dr. Monica. I'm so excited, y'all. Dr. Monica's in the room, and soon we're gonna get her back on so that she can be a guest. Cause I really want y'all to meet her. The day that she was scheduled to come on, that's when Facebook went down. Wouldn't let me schedule the class, the streaming, or anything on Facebook or anything. So we have to reschedule and get her back in the room as a guest because I want you guys to hear her voice. So, welcome everybody else. I'm going to try to pull up my phone. So, maybe on my phone, I can see who you are. So just let me know who you are, just in case you're the one that's coming up as Facebook user and not your name. So we'll know who's in the room on tonight. All right. So I promise not to keep you long. So I want to let me turn off my in the room on tonight. Okay. Right, so I gotta make sure my volume is down. See, when you have more than one, and that's a blessing, y'all. When you have more than one device, I don't take that for granted. That I have more than one device and I can switch from my phone to certain things. So let's see if it's gonna let me uh, pull it up. So it doesn't look like it's gonna let me pull it up so I can see y'all. Give me 1 second. Trying to see the comments and everything. All right. So here I am. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Got distracted. So anyway, I just welcome everybody. If you're just now coming in, welcome to the outpouring. So I wanted to continue our conversation and kind of get as much as we can out of that whole breakout, ruts, routine, and the regular. If you were with us on last Monday, come on, put it in the chat. Just say, yeah, I was with you on last Monday. That whole thing was just, whew, it was so good for me because I had just experienced breaking out of my rut and routine, right? When I said that I literally um, took a Saturday and just shut down, even though I had plans, even though I had scheduled my day, got an invitation, right, to go to brunch with the hubby and then to literally just chill. Went to the movies instead and just did something that wasn't necessarily planned. And to actually take a Sabbath day and really kept having to talk to myself down from that ledge of guilt or feeling stressed. Oh my God, I'm not going to get this done and I'm not going to get that done. Y'all, sometimes you have to be willing to let things go undone so that you can remind yourself that you are worth spending an entire day doing absolutely nothing that's required of you, but that you want to do and that you enjoy, right? And then the next day, that Sunday, did something that was completely outside of my routine for a Sunday, right? Which was I went to a party. And here's the other thing that I didn't tell you, it didn't even start till 8 o'clock on Sunday night. Woo! I went to a birthday party on a Sunday night, drove to a strange place by myself and had a ball. but I had to keep talking myself out of it all Sunday afternoon. Right? Oh, I don't need to go there. Oh, I'm tired. You don't know where you're going. It's gonna be dark and it's raining. Whew, let's talk about that whole thing, right? So we're talking about breakout. Midlife is the perfect time to start um, experiencing, having new experiences, exposing yourself to new things and different people. Because remember, I talked about how small my world had gotten because I couldn't remember at one point when was the last time I had met somebody I didn't know. Oh my God, because it can happen so easily before you know it, your world is so small, right? I had not met anybody new. I had not met anybody that wasn't like me or that wasn't living a life different than me or had different experiences than me. So that meant I was in a tunnel of thoughts, ideas, exposure, right? And that is no way for us to live because that's living too small because the world is so big. Like for me, I just happened to look out the window and see that beautiful full moon. Did y'all see that full moon on tonight? It's gorgeous. Take the time to notice things that we may have just gotten too busy or too numb to notice. The beauty and the mystery and the magnificence of the moon that doesn't even have its own light. It's reflecting the light of the sun, and it is high, it is bright, it is absolutely beautiful. So, we're talking about breakout in midlife. In midlife, it is a time for a reckoning of how we've been living, what we've been giving our energy to, and then what we want the rest of our life to look like. And we realize, right, that we may have gotten into a rut or routine, right? That thing that begins to happen subconsciously. You ever left your house and going one place and but you ended up almost going to work or going somewhere you hadn't intended to go because you are just so used to going a certain way, right? We always go the same way to work or the same way to wherever we're going, and that there's a whole world. And sometimes it's like within 15, 20 miles of where we are, but we never know it's there or never go there, right? It's like that real estate commercial. It's real old, and they ended up missing the opportunity to buy a house. And the commercial says, I didn't even know those houses were there. Sometimes there are parks, there are state parks, there's restaurants, there's whole neighborhoods that we don't even know exist. I know sometimes I'm driving and I'll see a street and if I haven't done it when I'm by myself, but I would talk my husband and turn down the street right here. Let's just go down there and see what's down there. Sometimes you turn down the street and the whole neighborhood opens up. You're like, man, there's people back here, right? That's what getting out of your rut and your routine and your regular can do. It because then it causes your brain to expand, right? And you create more capacity to receive, to imagine, to dream, right? And that's what we want to do in this moment. So tonight, I just want to, talk about just for a few moments, you know, about being intentional about getting out of a rut. So let me review real quick. Do y'all remember what rut was? Right? A rut is usual or fixed practice, a groove in which something runs, right? So we talked about how you can create a path or a groove when it was beautiful grass at one point, but then people just kept walking in that same path, right? And it becomes a groove where people, if they're trying to make that shortcut or walk, they're not going to create another path. They just walk on that same path, right? We use the example of albums, right? albums. If you midlife, you remember a little bit about album, right? Where the needle had to play specifically in those grooves in order for it to play right. Right. Well, your brain has those pathways too, where you can do something so often that you create a rut or a groove or pathway in your brain, which is what happens when it becomes subconscious, when you do things without even thinking. And so we were laughing, teasing about how we go to a restaurant over and over again, and not only to the same restaurant, but we'll order the same thing. And we'll sit there and say we're going to try something different, but we don't. We order the same thing. So it's very easy, right, to get into a rut, thinking the same old way, responding the same old way, feeling the same old way. And so we want to talk about um, how we can, a specific way we can begin to shift our minds, right, to be intentional about experiencing something new and exploring something new. And here it is, something as simple as trusting your gut, trusting your inner voice, right? Trusting that something within, right? To break the rut. That was the cool thing I put on social media. I was like, trust your gut to break the rut. So we're talking about then being intentional, Enlightened Woman Tribe, being intentional, one, about knowing your inner voice, and not just knowing your inner voice, but trusting your inner voice that could lead you to completely new experience, or break that rut or groove in your brain, right, to allow you to imagine or reimagine, right, or dream something bigger or different than where you are right now, right? So we're talking being intentional, exposing yourself to something different than what you would normally do, right? Listen to a different kind of music, or go someplace that you have never gone before, right? Expose yourself to something, to go to a different city. And right here in Maryland, right, there's so many small cities or areas or counties. You can Google what's going on this weekend and something could come up, and it could be free. Oh my goodness, it could be downtown in the museum or in the library. Somebody might be doing a talk on a book that might interest you. There really is a plethora of things that we could do that would take us outside of our comfort zone, outside of our routine and rut and the regular, right? And you have to be intentional about it. But one of the things when you're being intentional is to trust your own voice, trust your inner voice. So I want to tell you that that's how. I'm just checking y'all the on my phone in case somebody's name come up that's not coming up here. I was looking for something particular on Facebook. I think I had just made a post, and trust your longing and your desire and where you are. Get quiet and listen, because I was in a space a month or so ago that I knew I really needed to hear something different. I needed a different voice in my spirit. One, to confirm what I was feeling, right, in terms of the season and transitioning that I'm in, right? And because sometimes you long for something, you need something, you know something, but you can't put your finger on it, right? But you're praying about it and you're seeking. And so when you set yourself up by saying, I want something different, or I want to experience something different, or I want something new, or I want to be healed, or I want something more, when you begin to allow yourself to desire something new for yourself and want something, you begin to create that energy around you. And before you know it, you will be exposed, or opportunity will come to you, right? Or it will come to your attention. And so I had to begin to trust the voice and the feeling that I have that yes, it's time um, for a new voice to help confirm and affirm, or you need to experience something that will remind you of what your prayer was, what your desire was for your next step in midlife, right? And so I was looking for one thing, and this post came up, and it was for an event, and and it was like that is it, and it just dropped literally in my spirit. I was like, yes, that's what I need. I didn't know all of the details. I didn't know what was gonna exactly be done there. I just saw the name of it and I was like, yes, I need that. And of course, since then, there were a lot of obstacles that kept coming up. I needed to confirm a date so that it wouldn't be a conflict, and I couldn't just get that date. And it was just one thing after another. But I knew, right, that that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to go. I was supposed to be in that space because sometimes you just need to be in that space, in that room, on that call, whatever that thing is that's pulling you, and you sense it calling you, because that's what I started saying. I said, this event is calling me, right? And so I began to try to plan, and then I ended up having to wait. I said, you know what? I don't know. They haven't responded. They haven't told me what the date is. So I'm just gonna move forward. So I went on and registered. And by the time I registered, got the room, they only had one type of room left. And even then, I was like, oh, psh, for a moment, I was like, no, I'm not even going. And then I said, what difference does that make, right? All right, you might not have a room that's facing the water, but you know where the water is, and it's right there. So if you want to spend time in front of the water, you leave your room, go out and sit in front of the water, right? Because I'm telling you, when you make up your mind to do something for yourself, or to go to another level, or come outside of your comfort zone, resistance is right there. That sameness, that comfort that's within you to try to pull you back to that place of comfort and sameness is still there. So I had to talk to myself, say, it's fine, that's not a big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and take that room, right? And there was no more kings and no more waterfront rooms. I was like, fine. I took a double queen, right? And it just had the view but not waterfront, and I was like, fine, because that's not just why I'm there. And so I did that. And of course, wouldn't you know it, the confirmation that I was waiting for the date came, and it was the same date. And I almost canceled. And I was like, nope, I'm pressing because I trust my inner voice. There is something there for me, it's calling to me. And so I missed the first day, and normally I'm a packer. I will pack the night before so that I'm ready anytime I have to travel. But for whatever reason, my energy was low and it was depleted. And when I say resistance, I meant resistance. So don't be surprised that when you make up your mind, resistance is going to come. You have to make up in your mind and be intentional. You have to decide that when you know something is calling to you to move forward and go to, you have to already have tools in your arsenal that's going to help you push past that resistance. So when I did what I needed to do, and it was time to come, I had to come home, I had to pack, and I didn't even have the frame of mind to pack. I was literally just throwing stuff in the suitcase. And I finally got in the car and got on the road. And can I tell you, the further I drove away from the house, the less the stress began to fall away, the worry began to fall away, those concerns, because I knew I was doing something that my soul needed in that moment. Oh my God. And even when I ran into a little traffic, can I tell you, I wasn't even stressed. So what I did was intentional. I didn't listen to the news or anything. I just listened to music. And I really enjoyed the ride because I had never been that way before. I was dependent on my GPS. So I was going down roads I had never been to, and I was just asking God, help me get there before it gets dark since I'm in unfamiliar territory. So I was enjoying, my brain was coming alive, and it was, just bursting with curiosity because I was looking around even while I was driving. I was like, oh, wow, look at that. Oh my God, those are cows. I was like, I've never even heard of this town. I mean, I drove through towns I had never heard of, and I was just enjoying the ride. Then I turned, I was able to slow down. I stopped. I didn't stop, but I slowed down enough so I can pull out my phone, pull out Pandora, and I went to Layla Hathaway radio. Oh my God. And I tell you, that music was phenomenal. It was just what I needed to hear. So I was listening to Rochelle Farrell, Layla Hathaway, Lettucey, her. I mean, I was just having a good old woman's empowerment time in that car, just enjoying myself. It was good. And so when I arrived, oh my gosh, I got there just in time, checked in, and I just felt relaxed, right? Went, ordered some food, took it back to the room by myself. And that's the other thing. Get Take a chance and just do something by yourself, right? And it was so wonderful. But let me tell you how important it is to be intentional and knowing your inner voice and trusting your voice, right? Well, I'm going to come back to that. So I want to go give you another point of why it's so important to break out of ruts, routine, and the regular, right? So know your, so I was trusting her. I was trusting my inner voice that that event was calling to me and I needed to be there. I made push past the resistance, got in the car, went, got on the road, enjoyed the scenery of the new places I was seeing, just awakening my mind and my body and my spirit. The heaviness started. And here's the other thing that I want to say to you about breaking out, trusting your inner voice and getting out of that rut. Not only know your inner voice when your inner voice is trying to help you experience something that will bring you your desires or at least help you along the way, make the same effort that you make for everyone else for yourself. I'm just going to let that sit there for a minute. Make the same effort that you make for everyone else for yourself. Hey, Subi. Danny, did you hear me? Make that same effort that you make for everybody else for yourself, because that's what had to happen for me. I had to keep making the effort to move beyond my resistance and not just saying, "Oh no, never, no, nope," because I had to drive 2.5, almost 3 hours by myself. And I don't normally do that. And I have done it. I did it years ago when I was doing the leadership certificate program at Duke. That was a major thing. I drove almost 4 hours there and back round trip by myself, once a month or every 3 months, whatever. We were gone for like a week during that training. And so you can't just do something one time, because I almost forgot, y'all, that I had done that I had the gumption and the courage and the excitement to experience that, because it was calling to me when I went after that certificate in leadership at Duke. And so when I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I better drive 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours by myself, I had to remember that I did it before. Right. And so I had to make that effort, the same effort, because, I would have been encouraging somebody else to do it. I would have, made sure they had everything they needed so they could go. That same effort you make for other people to go after what they've been called to do, you need to do it for yourself. Stop getting so tired and so comfortable that you're not willing to make the same effort for yourself that you make for everybody else. So I had to make that effort and push past it for myself, right? So, in order for us to know your inner voice, be intentional about knowing your inner voice, be intentional about making the same effort for yourself that you make for everybody else, then I had to challenge any limiting beliefs, right? You have to believe that you are absolutely worth the effort. Woo, woo, sigh. Take a moment, take a deep breath right there for that thought and release it, right? Take a deep breath, y'all. Stop the limiting beliefs because we get stuck in ruts, routines, and the regular because we have limiting beliefs that it's small. Our desires and dreams for ourselves, the things that we want to experience, the things that we want to do, we have limited thinking, or we think we're not worthy, or we think we're not good enough, or we don't think we need to spend that money. I Things might be tight, you might be trying to save up for something to do something, but can I tell you, it's not going to kill you once in a while to spend some money for yourself. Because if somebody else asked you for it and you love them and you want to help them, you will absolutely try to find a way to do it. Every now and then, go ahead and spend it for yourself, because if you're always denying yourself, you can literally slip into depression and don't even know why, because you're constantly denying yourself the opportunity to live a enjoyable, fulfilling, and meaningful life, right? So challenge, that's how we change our behavior. We challenge our thinking, right? And so if your thinking is limited and it's not benefiting you or working out, you need to challenge that thought. Oh, I don't need to do that. Oh, I don't need to pay that much to experience this. Oh, I don't need. Why not? Challenge that thought. Where's that coming from? Why are you denying yourself all the time? How about saying yes to yourself sometime, right? And that's all things being equal and harmony. You have to decide and determine that, right? So here's the thing that I want to say also before we close about trusting your gut to break that rut, right? Because I always have, I don't always, often, I used to have more than I do now because I'm always challenging those limiting thoughts, right? Building a business and always thinking about different ways that I can maximize it, right? So I have an event that I'm going to in November. It's a couples event, and I said, let me just order some books so I can have them for that event. Well, I said, let me go ahead and have them come in sooner rather than later, and ordered the books. The books came in. So they were sitting in my room. I had opened them up, put some stuff in the books, in the box, ready for it. I'm in the garage, packing the car, getting ready to leave for this amazing event. And I hear the spirit say, put the books in the trunk. And I was like, I'm not vending at this event. I don't really need to take the books. So why would I? No, I haven't talked to them about doing anything. I'm not doing anything. And literally, I put some in the trunk, closed the trunk, was doing some stuff, and I heard the spirit then say again loudly, put the books in the trunk. So I had to go back in the house, go in my office, grab the books, and just throw them in the trunk. I'm there. So I didn't even think about it anymore. So I'm at the event. I mean, just it is life changing. I'm going to be posting some pictures soon, so you see. So I'm just getting fed, I'm crying. It's just phenomenal because it's exactly what I needed. God had heard my cry, just gave me the desires of my heart in this event. And so, some of the panelists and presenters were people, sisters, women, powerful women that I know. And so we're in this panel discussion and we're talking, and the women are asking questions, and a woman asked a question about menopause or something. And my good girlfriend sitting on the panel, she said, yeah, I'm throw this one to Kelly. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? I'm not a presenter, I'm not here. She said, yeah, that's her niche. I want her to answer that. And I mean, something came on me. I answered it. It was phenomenal. And she said, and yeah, y'all need to get her book too. And I mentioned the book. And I said, yeah, I did write a book. And they said, oh, you have your books with you? And I said, y'all, I almost fell out my chair. Did y'all hear what I said? Do you have the books with you? I said, oh my God, y'all are not gonna believe what happened before I came here. And can I tell y'all, I told them the story. I started crying, almost passed. They crying, they shouting, they like, go get your books. Yeah. And went up and followed behind me, went with me to the car. I brought the books back in. And before I could get back into the room, the 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 coordinator for the event met me in the room outside of the room we were in. She said, somebody actually wants you to, I need you to 10 books aside. She just decided that she wants to pay for 10 books up front so that you can give them to anybody in the room anonymously. I was like, what? I'm like, okay, so I'm counting 10 books out. I'm giving to her. She getting ready to cash app you. I said, great. And so I go in, and so I'm passing out the books to the 10, but there were more women whose hands up who wanted the book. Then another sister pushed, she said, whoever we have over the 10 that want the book, I'm going to pay for all of those. So y'all know it was bedlam by this time, right? And so then everybody said, well, no, I want one. I'm going to buy one. Can I tell y'all, I sold every last book in that box. I want to cry even right now, just thinking about that. I heard the Spirit say, you need to be in that space to affirm the path that I have you on right now. Right. And then I heard this, and I was intentional. I had resistance and almost talked myself out of it, but had to push past it. Right. I had to do what I would have done for someone else to make sure I experienced that. Right. And then when I heard the Spirit say, put those books in there, and they started saying, do not let her leave here with any books. And they did not. I came home with the empty box plus orders for more. So I had to order some. Matter of fact, that night when I went back to my hotel room, I ordered more. Y'all, I'm telling you, when you learn how to honor and know your inner voice and trust your voice, stop thinking that somebody else's voice outside of you carries more weight with you or is more in tune to the spirit than your own inner voice. Come on, y'all, break out of that rut, that routine, and that regular. Learn how to trust your inner voice. In midlife, having that greater level of confidence in yourself, breaking out of that victim mentality and playing small and being small. It is not for you in this season. This is your season of reckoning to become all of who you are and live into all of who you are and be big, y'all. I'm telling you. So we doing what? We're being intentional, right? To know your voice and trust it. To what? To make the same effort you would make for somebody else for yourself, right? And then challenge any limiting beliefs so that your imagination, so that your exploration, your sense of adventure can be rebirthed and uncovered again. Woo! Right? Because can I tell you, if you don't, everything you haven't done, everything you haven't dealt with, everything you haven't allowed to heal, all of that is going to come to a head in midlife. You're going to have to make a decision for who you want to be, what legacy you want to live, and what kind of life you want to live right now. Right? So it's time to break out. Come on, put it in the chat. Say it again, y'all. Say break out. Break out of what? Ruts, routine, and the regular. I saw for myself God move in a miraculous way. I knew I needed to be there. And I had to push past. Not that I'm going to always be perfect in that. Don't think, because remember we talked about this already in the meditation room. It's not about perfection, right? It's about progress. It's about growth. So just say break out, break out of ruts, break out of routine, and break out of regular. Break out of those limiting self belief patterns that you have in your head, or the repeat of words that you say, because your words are powerful, because you are a creator. Your God has made you a co-creator, right? So I'm telling you, the words you say matter. So break out of that limited thinking and that limited speaking, because you are creating for yourself what you are thinking, what you are believing, and what you are saying. Woo-wee! I love it. Thank y'all for spending some time with me on Mondays in the meditation room with Dr. K for Midlife Musings. Y'all, tell me what you think. Tell me what, just before we go, what do you have? What word, what affirmation, what thing do you need to say about yourself as a result of our conversation on tonight? What are you going to do to break out of your rut, your routine, and your regular? Let me look and see our comments. Let me put my glasses on. What I see, what I see. Yes, move and push through. Yes, that resistance is going to happen. And here's the thing, don't think that you're not supposed to do something just because you have resistance. That's not a sign that you're not supposed to. Sometimes it is, but therein goes that thing where we're saying, know your inner voice. So you know your inner voice that says, yes, it's becoming too hard. Let me back up. But then sometimes it's, yes, this resistance, let me push through it. Right? So, and yep. So, and they say, yep. When your mind is clear, you see the yes. Hey, Subi, did I say that already? Come on, Holy Spirit. So it was absolutely amazing. So I'm going to be posting some pics from that weekend soon. So I thank y'all for joining me on tonight. Take a moment, breathe in. Breathe out. I'm excited. Don't forget to get your book, get another book. If you already have one, get you another one for October, because you might have to show some proof of purchase once we set up the platform where we're going to do the 4-part masterclass for the book, to go through the book, The Enlightened Woman Mastering. We're going to be talking about mastering the midlife pivot as we go through the Enlightened Woman book in a 4-part masterclass as we walk through the book. But it's only going to be for those who have brought the book, already had the book, those who were at my Serenity experience, right? Those of you who get the book or have the book for October, purchase it in the month of October, or purchase one for somebody else, give it to somebody, right? So we'll announce when those dates are going to be. Have a amazing night, y'all. Rest, speak something beautifully empowering and encouraging and compassionate to yourself. Come on, somebody shout, break out. Break out, break out. Love y'all. See y'all throughout the week or next Monday. All right, have a good one. Love you.